Hey, what's up everybody, I'm Keshav and today we're gonna draw something from the 90s. Hashtag nostalgia. The thing is, I love the 90s cartoons. Dexter's Lab, Johnny Bravo, Powerpuff Girls, Samurai Jack, all these things. SWAT Cats. Oh my god, I love that thing. Recently I watched an episode of Samurai Jack and I was just like blown away by the art and the making of that episode. It was amazing. I used to hate that show when I was a kid. Now I really appreciate that show. So I was like, you know what? I should draw something for that thing. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to draw something for Samurai Jack, which is from the 90s, to celebrate the nostalgia that the 90s cartoons bring. So that's what I'm going to do. So the process I used for the illustration piece was pretty simple. I went with my typical illustration process, which is first up guidelines, second up inking, third up, you color the thing. But I really focused on the composition this time, and I tried to tell a story with the composition of this piece. And here's the thing I was trying to say with this piece. There's this thing that I'm really interested in, which is dark versus light, evil versus good, the good versus evil, the typical Star Wars, what do you call them? What's the main character of the Star Wars thing? Anakin Skywalker? No, that's Darth Vader. So basically, the good guy versus the bad guy. So that's the whole thing. The father versus the son, light versus darkness. So that was the whole idea behind this piece, because when I was watching Samurai Jack's episode and watching the character Jack, the samurai, and the evil character Aku, I kind of sensed a relation between them. It's like, what Harry Potter and Voldemort has. Same kind of relationship Aku and Jack has. They're like sort of like one. They're the same thing, but they have gone in different paths, completely different paths. And that was what I was trying to say with the composition. So what I did was I actually connected Aku, the evil character, with Jack himself. So I kind of did this very swirly effect with the whole piece. So if you look at the piece, there will be a big swirl that's happening throughout the whole piece. I try to compose the whole piece as if there was a connection between all the elements, which is the background, the foreground, the midground, and everything. So I was kind of creating the swirl, and the swirl connects with each other. So the character Aku and Jack, they are connected at the bottom of this piece. So it's kind of like Aku, the evil character, is emerging from Jack, and it's up to Jack to slay this dragon of his, slay this demon of his, and bring out the light in him through his sword. So that was what the story I was trying to tell with this piece. And I gotta say, I wasn't very happy with the inking part of this piece, because I had a completely different effect in mind, which would have been easily achieved with my ballpoint pens. But the thing was, I used a Pentel pocket brush pen in this one, because it's quicker, it's easy, it saves a lot of time, but it was not exactly the effect I was looking for, and it was too late until I realized that, and I kind of just went in and finished the thing anyway. I thought I'll probably save this piece in the Photoshop, the coloring process. And holy crap, things got worse in that phase, man. I'm not even kidding. But there's a good ending to it, trust me. But just wait for it. when I started coloring this piece in Photoshop, I try to use my 3-step simple coloring method, which is the midgrounds, the foreground, and the, no, what am I saying? Sorry, I'm mixing things up. The midtones, the shadows, and the highlight effect. So basically, I just separate my coloring process into 3 separate layers, in which I apply the midtones in one layer, the shadows in another one, and on top of that, I just go back in with the highlights. So this is my process, my simple process, but it kind of didn't work for this at all, because I was sort of having this painterly effect in my head, meaning I wanted to do some sort of a painting style thing with this piece, but for some reason my vision, my actions didn't match up with my vision, and it came out completely different than I expected. But hey, I didn't give up. I just kept at it, went at it again, and I started painting the piece. And on top of the layers, on top of the ink sketch, usually I color my illustrations with my ink sketch on top of the colors. This time what I did was I placed my colors on top of my ink sketch and started painting it in Photoshop. So basically I'm over painting things. I'm painting on top of my guidelines, my ink lines, and that was a fun experiment. But to be honest, it took a lot of time to make that thing. Holy crap, it took a lot of time, but I somehow managed to do it, and the piece came out good in the end. I kind of liked it. A couple of thoughts though. This piece took me around about a week to make, and I realized that I don't have to spend too much time on one single illustration piece. I can, but what I would rather be doing is, what I'd like to be doing is spend more time, not more time, spend less time making more illustration pieces, which in turn will help improve my quality of illustrations. I'm a big believer in the fact that the more reps you put in, the more quantity you put out, better quality. The better the quality of illustrations and the work will be. Not all the time, but most of the time. And but also I want to spend some time once in a while, here and there, sitting and doing a piece that takes about a week or 2 or 3 weeks. That has some effect to it. I kind of like that also. So I think it's a bit of both quantity and quality. Why am I beating around the same bush? I've been debating this whole quantity versus quality thing, and I explored the same thing in my previous video, and I'm just doing it again in this video because I'm actually doing the voiceover for this video after the video was made, like a month, 2 months after. So technically this video was made 2 months before, and I'm just doing this voiceover right now because I edited the first section of this video 2 months ago, and I somehow chucked it because it wasn't perfect enough for me. Then I just realized, holy crap, this thing looks good, why did I chuck it away? Then I just took back the thing again, and now I'm re-editing it. I'm doing the voiceovers. I'm trying to finish this thing, put it out in the world, move on with the next stuff, and see where that goes. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's my Samurai Jack piece. I kind of liked it, and hope you like that thing too. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.